Okay, so my meeting's done. Continue on with this ontology term name page. Okay, so I made this new component here called ontology term ID that takes a term ID string. So I'm going to import, well, let's see if it'll auto import. Yeah. I'll do this. And it did auto import. That's cool. And then term ID equals sample ontology term ID, and it's required, so I don't need to check for that. I called it term reference right here. Okay, let's see what that displayed. Aha! So I don't know if these are real term names because this is just test data. And K562, hey, that worked. I should do this I should open a new tab. As much as people hate that, for good reason, I think. I think that's the best option here. So I'm going to open target equals blank, and there should be a no. Oh, I'm surprised I didn't get a suggestion for that. Refer equals, I forgot what the value should be. Let's do a search for no refer. Rel equals no refer. Okay. Rel equals no refer. It's hard to say, kind of. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. See how that looks. Okay. Got it in a new tab. And so that's 2067. Try this one. Uber on. Term not found. That might be okay. We'll just have to see in QA. Memory B cell. Oh yeah, that looks correct. 787 001. Spinal cord motor neuron. Yeah, motor neuron. Ectoderm. What was that? Ghostbusters ectoplasm? Is that what they called it? All right. Yeah. I feel like, yeah, I guess that's the right place for it after term name. Yeah. So that's looking pretty good. So that's sample ontology term. I'll have to take a closer look at this later. Term ID map to a link. Let's change up the comment style. Let's change since then. Using more of the JS doc style. Here. Display the sample, call it ontology term ID given in term ID and link to a corresponding site of the prefix of, no. I try to keep this to 100 columns or less of the term ID needs it. Of the, well, I don't know what I'm talking about there. And link to a corresponding site of the prefix of the term has one? Has one. Any term IDs with prefixes not matching any in the URL map. That's not really property. It's a global variable. Simply display without a link. Okay, looks pretty good. Map from prefixes, map from ontology term ID prefixes to corresponding URL bases. Specific term IDs are appended into these. I feel like I don't really need that. Okay. Oops. What happened to the console? Oh well, that's fine. Ontology term ID. All term IDs are of the form. I'll add that here. Sorry, I'm reading a Slack message. Um, I'm going to read a link someone sent me here. It's pretty interesting. No, stay on page. How's that? Okay, prevent environment vars to be required on build time. Okay. Hmm. Okay, let's get back here. So if the length is 2, and if the URL base maps to something, then do this, link to a term ID. And again, I don't need the Next.js link thing because this is an offsite link. Otherwise, should this really be a span? I feel like it should just be a fragment. I highly doubt fragments existed when I wrote this initially. And prop type string is required. Okay. So term reference, motor neuron. Okay, so I think we need a top level menu for ontologies and then put sample and the other thing, which I forgot now. Sample. Where is it? And disease ontology terms under it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'll add the menu and then I'll work on the disease one. So menus under components navigation. And this is all hard-coded. In the encoded project, this was driven by an array of objects. Since it's basically static, I didn't really see the point of that, but I don't know, some people may argue with me and I'll probably cave because I'm kind of on the edge on which way I think is better. So samples, so that would go after samples before treatments. So I guess I'll just copy this whole area. Navigation group item. So duplicate that, call this ontologies. Ontologies. I'll need a new icon for that. Have to think about that one. I'll just use sample for now. I'll come up with that icon off stream. So ontologies. Should probably make that a constant, huh? Well, I don't know if it makes much of a difference. Handle parent click, and then we'll have sample. And sample ontology terms. Oops. Navigation click. I think I'll just say samples, and diseases will be the other one. In fact, why don't I do that now, even though I haven't made the page yet? Diseases. Let's look at disease, oops, ontology terms. Okay. Yeah. Navigation click. Diseases. We don't need any others here. Sample ontology terms, diseases is child item. Ontologies, there we go. Samples, cool. Now I need to implement diseases, which sounds a lot worse than it is. Implementing diseases. Okay, so like before, let's grab this. So it has to match the path. Make a new folder with that name. Then it makes sense to copy sample ontology terms to disease ontology terms. Look at the collection page first. What is that? 6 letters? 6x. Disease ontology term list. Copy that here. And here. Oh, and yeah, let's work on this. 6x disease ontology terms. And there. And there. And there. Disease ontology terms. And disease ontology terms, which comes in through here. Disease ontology terms. Disease ontology terms. And here. disease. Okay. Reckons. So this should be disease ontology term. Should need to check. The properties are different, but this should be all the same because this gets it imports this from the ontology term. These two terms, these two properties, term ID and term name. So that stays the same. So let's see how that's working. There we go. Now I have to implement the pages. Some nasty stuff there. Of course, this is all sample data. Yeah. Okay. Let's look at the individual object pages. Disease. And down here. And here. So here we'll do disease ontology term, singular. And there. Change the path. Disease. Okay, that looks good. Oh, I forgot to change the I'll have to change it on the sample ontology term page too. Disease ontology term object to display. Disease ontology term, right. So I'll just disease ontology term, just initially do a replace. Yeah, okay. So this probably, I think that was, yeah, ontology term. So that has all the same properties for the calculator properties. But let's look at the schema. Oh, yeah. Wait, what am I looking at? Disease ontology term. So this is missing. What is it missing? Oh, just dbxfs. Otherwise, it's all the same. All right. And then I'll decide whether we should reduce some of the duplication between these pages. I don't know if we're planning to have more ontology terms. In fact, I should check that. Oh, what else do we have? Yeah, what other ontology terms? There's assay ontology term. Should probably do that too. In which case, we should get rid of this duplication instead of having 3. I don't think there's any ontology term objects. That's just the abstract template. Sample, assay, disease. Yeah, okay. What's different about assay? Oh, I meant the schema. Nothing really. Pretty much the same as disease. Yeah, okay. So in that case, let's change this component. What do I call it? Sample? Maybe I should have called it ontology, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why I call it sample. Ontology. Hopefully that'll change it. Did it change it? No, it didn't. Dang. But I might not need it anyway. So I won't change it yet. Why do I feel like ESLint isn't working? Oh, I guess it is. Um, right. So if I were to extract this to a common component, and I do have an existing, oh yeah, common data items. I can put it in here. So donor data items, sample data items. I can have an ontology data items. Okay, yeah, let's do that. So ontology data items. Let's actually code in JavaScript. Yeah, I think that's the pattern we have here, right? Source, ontology. I think children also. Yeah. Okay. Ontology. Call it ontology. Uh, term. Ontology term data item. And then inside of that, put this down to here. Right? What's wrong here? Let's have one parent element. Right. Oh, what is this? Sample data items. Display data items come to all sample derived objects. Oh, right. Yeah. So I don't need that. Yeah, so I need this, the fragment, and close the fragment here. Um, what else? What are we missing? At the parent. Open brace, return this. Oh, right. Like that. Okay, so ontology term. Need to change all of these to ontology term. Ontology term. Okay. And then in here. Okay, and then I need the prop type. Oop, let's go back up here. Prop types. Object drives. No. Ontology. Ontology term object. Okay, fine. Ontology term object is required. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really want to specify. I don't want to make it an object of, because that could change and be sort of a pain. Okay, so now we can put children. even though it's not really going to get used for now. Then instead of this ontology one, I feel like I should keep this. Other pages may want to display this. Yeah, okay. So I'll keep this new file and I'll import it here in common data items. Let's see, that's ontology, so that's here. Import ontology term ID from ontology. Yep, that gets rid of that ps_lint error. Okay. Display data items common to all ontology term objects. Term derived objects. Yeah, that sounds good. Should there be another dash here? Ontology term. I feel like it. Ontology term derived objects. Okay. Ontology term object. Okay. And then import this here. This is a disease ontology term. So what was the property name? Ontology term. Ontology term equals disease ontology term. And up here, we don't need that. Ontology term data items from components. Common data items. Oh. Oops. Yeah, W, shift S. There we go. And this needs an export. Yes. Yeah. Export. Turn data items. Alrighty. Did I say alrighty? So ontology term data items, and I display that here. So let's see if that works. No. Cannot read properties of undefined ontology term. That is in common data items 270. 270 ontology term. So ontology term. Ontology term. Disease ontology term. Why wouldn't that work? Ontology term data items. Ontology term. Disease ontology term. Ontology term. Let's just try reload. No, it doesn't like that. Oh, organ slims? Why wouldn't organ slims be there? Why? Okay. Let's do a console log. No, okay. Um, okay. Let me look at, not navigation. Yeah, common data items. Oh, what's that error? outside a module. That's weird. Okay, so I'll break here, if it even gets there. No, it doesn't get there. Ontology term data item. So let's look at oh, that is a mystery. Oh, not components. Pages. Oh, disease ontology terms. It's not loading that. Disease ontology term. Yeah, because it errors out before that. Ontology term data items, ontology term, disease ontology term. Doesn't like, okay. Let me look at this. It doesn't like, oh, there's no synonyms? Oh, no, it's right there. Oh, organ slims. Oh, is that specific? Organ slims. Is that specific to this? Oh, that was a calculated property, though. Wasn't it? Yeah, here we go. Sample. Oh, that's only for samples. Only for samples. Not for disease, not for ontology. Ontology term. So disease doesn't have any special items. Oh, yes, it does. No, it doesn't. um, but assays do, and sample has a few. Okay, so this, wow. Developmental slims. I thought these were shared by all of them, but it's just sample. Okay, so what I need to do is remove a lot of that from common data items, synonyms. Wow, all of this. Hey, was this even worth it? Maybe it wasn't worth it. System slims, developmental slims, cell slims, and organ slims. Synonyms, organ slims, cell slims. Yeah, I don't think this is worth it. They're just too different. Okay, so I'm going to... So about the only thing we have here is synonyms. Got the term ID, term name, and synonyms. Because synonyms is part of the base class, right? So this is still needed. I guess for now I'll keep this. I'll just remove this to sample. Yeah, well, it's already here. I didn't have to yank that. But what I may want to do, yeah, okay. So ontology term data items. Right, so ontology term data items. Ontology term, sample ontology term, that's correct. And then I'll display not this, but these. Okay, let's take a look at that. Oh, ontology samples. Ontology term. Oh. Ontology term. Don't need that. C. Okay. So I should go here. Hang on, I'm reading. I'll share this with you. Or trying to work out how to get Docker and Next.js to play together with environment variables. Skip all this. Environments. That's a scary sentence. Make sure you revisited with dynamic connector you built at runtime. Could be built up, but with Docker it should be built during build time, or else you have a lot of extra time for your Docker container to start for no good reason. And you made your production environment sluggish because you had to build something in order to restart a container. Oh. Huh. Okay. Since this issue came up, I'm going to end the stream here. I'll probably have another one later today.